Yeah, back again for Trevor's lockdown quiz and a couple of scores from the last week. We got a good score from Mrs. Angel here, 25 out of 40 for the first one. That was good. Davy from Miss Burns going well too. Davy Brickashar going very good. So here's the first round of 8 questions. Usual thing, going to pause it after the first round to get your scores and then play it again to get the answers. Okay. Number 1. What dessert was created in honour of a famous ballet dancer? What dessert was created in honour of a famous ballet dancer? Okay, write them answers down. Number 2. What was the name of the diluted rum that was once given to British sailors? What was the name of the diluted rum that was once given to British sailors? Number 3. What do you get if you cross an orange with a tangerine? Okay. Number 3. What do you get if you cross an orange with a tangerine? Okay. Number 4. In the 1980s, which confectionery did blue replace brown? In the 1980s, in which confectionery did blue replace brown? Number 5. In which decade was the microwave oven invented? Okay, in which decade was the microwave oven invented? Right, number 6. Television logos, TV logo advertisements. What brand had the slogan, "Because you're worth it"? Okay, what brand had the slogan, "Because you're worth it"? And number 7, or advertisement. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, what was that advertisement for? What were they selling? If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit. And number 8, what's the spiciest, strongest chili in the world? Okay, what is the spiciest, strongest chili in the world? Okay, I'm going to pause that there if you want to rewind it and start it, anything you've missed, and then I'll give you the answers here. Okay. Right, what dessert was created in honour of a famous ballet dancer? If you put Anna Banoffee, you'd be wrong. It was Pavlova, Anna Pavlova. Number 2, what was the name of the diluted rum that was once given to British sailors? That was grog. And what do you get if you cross an orange with a tangerine? That was a clementine. And in the 1980s, which confectionery did blue replace brown? That was Smarties. Number 5, in which decade was the microwave oven invented? That was the 1940s. 1940s. And number 6, what brand had the slogan, "Because you're worth it"? It was L'Oreal. L'Oreal. Number 7, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, that was join our club. That was Club Biscuits. Club Biscuits. And what's the strongest chili in the world? Now it's a Carolina Reaper, 2.2 billion on the Scoville scale. Carolina Reaper. Right, number 2 in the second round. This is TV. This is going to be TV this round. And Happy Days, what was the Fonz's first name? Okay, what was the Fonz's first name? And number 2, how old was Adrian Mole when he wrote his Secret Diary? How old was Adrian Mole when he wrote his Secret Diary? And number 3, Mary Poppins was nanny to which family? Mary Poppins was nanny to which family? And number 4, in the TV series Benidorm, what is the name of the hotel? Okay, in the TV series, what is the name of the hotel? And number 5, the first episode of Downton Abbey begins on the same day as what a historic event? On the first episode of Downton Abbey, what historic event happened on that day, on the first episode of Downton Abbey? Okay, number 6, TV theme. Which TV theme begins with the words, "You know we belong together"? Okay, which TV begins with the words, You know we belong together. Number 7. In which TV show would you have heard the words, "There's been a murder"? There's been a murder. Okay, and the last one, number 8, this round. What was the name of Dorothy's aunt in The Wizard of Oz? Okay, what was the name of Dorothy's aunt in The Wizard of Oz? Okay, we're going to go into round 3. And this is going to be general knowledge. And question 1, whose face was said to launch 1,000 ships? Whose face was said to launch 1,000 ships? Okay, and number 2, 1961 was the last year that read the same upside down. So if you turn 1961 upside down, it still says 1961. When is the next year that will happen? When's the next year this will happen? Number 3, who was the mother of Queen Elizabeth I? Who was the mother of Queen Elizabeth I? First. And number 4, SWAT team is a highly trained law enforcement team. What does the initials SWAT stand for? SWAT. Okay, what does SWAT stand for? And number 5, what is the only UK road sign that is octagonal in shape? What is the only UK road sign that is octagonal in shape? Okay. Number 6, dry ice is a solid form of which gas? Dry ice is a solid form of which gas? Number 7, from which tree can you get cork from? Which type of tree can you get cork from? And the last one in this round, number 8. In which film would you have heard the quote, "A boy's best friend is his mother"? Okay, what film's that quote from? A boy's best friend is his mother. Okay, number 4, round 4. Pause that and do your answers, and then we're going to round 4. Okay, it's music this round. After the Beatles first split up, who was the first one to have a solo hit? Okay, so after the Beatles split up, who was the first one to have a solo hit? Number 2, it's been 7 hours and 15 days is the opening line to which 1990's number 1 hit. It's been 7 hours and 15 days is the opening line to which 1990 number 1 hit. Number 3, which rock star would you associate with the E Street Band? Which rock star would you associate with the E Street Band? Right. Number 4, which fashion designer was associated with the Sex Pistols? Which fashion designer was associated with the Sex Pistols? And number 5, which female artist headlined the One Love Manchester concert? Which female artist headlined the One Love Manchester concert? That was back in 2017. Number 6, who was the last British act to win Eurovision? Who was the last British act to win Eurovision? And number 7, what was the British national anthem before God Save the Queen? What was the British anthem before the national anthem before God Save the Queen? And this is the lyrics of a song, top 10 song in the 60s. I want you to tell me what song it was. And the sign said, The words of the prophets are written on the subway walls. Okay. Which song had the lyrics and the words of the prophet? And the sign said the words of the prophet were written on the subway walls. I want you to tell me what song was that. Right, I don't think I gave you the answers to this from the last one. The answers to the last round. In Happy Days, what was the Fonz's first name? It was Arthur. How old was Adrian Mole when he wrote his secret diary? He was 13 3/4. And Mary Poppins was nanny to which family? It was the Banks family. In the TV series Benidorm, what is the name of the hotel? It was the Solano. In the first episode of Downton Abbey, begins on the same day as what historic event? It was the sinking of the Titanic. And which TV theme begins with the words, "You know we belong together"? That was Home and Away. In which TV show would you have heard the words, "There's been a murder"? It was Taggart. And what was the name of Dorothy's aunt in The Wizard of Oz? It was Aunt Em. Aunt Em. Ooh. Right. Your scores. And the answers to that round. Whose face was said to launch 1,000 ships? Helen of Troy. 1961 was the last year that read the same upside down. When is the next year that will happen? 6009. Who was the mother of Queen Elizabeth I? It was Anne Boleyn. SWAT team is a highly trained law enforcement team. What does the SWAT stand for? Special Weapons and Tactics. And what is the only UK road sign that is octagonal in shape? It was the stop sign. Number 6, dry ice is a solid form of which gas? That's carbon dioxide. And which tree can you get cork from? Number 7, it's an oak tree. And number 8, in which film would you have heard the quote, "A boy's best friend is his mother"? That was Psycho, Anthony Perkins and Psycho. Pass you that one. Pass you that one, Psycho. Okay, here's the answers to the music round. After the Beatles split up, who was the first one to have a solo #1 hit? It was George Harrison with "My Sweet Lord." It's been 7 hours and 15 days as the opening line to which 1990 #1 hit? It was "Nothing Compares to You" by Sinead O'Connor. Number 3, which rock star would you associate it with the E Street Band? That's Bruce Springsteen. Number 4, which fashion designer was associated with the Sex Pistols? That was Vivienne Westwood. Vivienne Westwood. And which female artist headlined the One Love Manchester concert in 2017? It was Ariana Grande. Number 6, who was the last British act to win Eurovision? That was Katrina and the Waves. Katrina and the Waves. Number 7, what was the British national anthem before God Save the Queen? It was God Save the King. Okay. Trick one. Number 8, and the sign said the words of the prophets were written on the subway hall. Are lyrics from The Sound of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. Right, the last round here. Hope the scores are piling up for you. Right, I want you to give the answer to this in Roman numerals, okay? You have to write the answers in Roman numerals. What is 500 minus 100 in Roman numerals? Give me the answer in Roman numerals. What is 500 minus 100? Number 2. Who is the only British Prime Minister to be assassinated? Who was the only British Prime Minister to be assassinated? Get them answers in. Number 3. What is a nut in a Ferrero Rocher? What is a nut? What type of nut is it in a Ferrero Rocher? Number 4. What's the most common pub name in the UK? What's the most common pub name in the UK? Right, another advertisement. This was a could be question this. What was the first advertisement shown on Channel 5? Okay, the first programme was Countdown down back in 1982, but what was the first advertisement that was shown on Channel 5? It's not as tricky as you think. If you think about it, you might get it. Number 6. According to a TV advertisement back in the day, what did you have to do to put the freshness back? Okay, according to a TV advertisement back then in the days, what did you have to do to put the freshness back? TV one, Disney, Lady and the Tramp question. What's the name of the 2 Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp? Okay, what's the name of the 2 Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp? Okay, question 8, the last one in the round. We'll give you a tiebreaker just in case you do it in the house and there's a bit of a tie between you. Another TV ad. If you see Sid, tell him. What was that advertising? If you see Sid, tell him. Okay, what was that advertising? It was advertising something. Right, there's going to be a wee tie break here in case they're drawn, and the tie break is: how many stars are there on the Brazilian flag? How many stars are there on the Brazilian flag? That's your tie break question. Right, pause it when I'm going to give you the answers here, then you can come back. Oh, right. What is 500 minus 100 in Roman numerals? It's CD. CD. Okay. Who is the only British Prime Minister to be assassinated? It was Spencer Perceval back in 1812. Spencer Perceval. And what is a nut in a Ferrari Rocher? It's a hazelnut. And the most common pub name in the UK is the Red Lion. Okay, the Red Lion. Right. What was the first advertisement shown on Channel 5? It was Chanel No. 5 perfume. That was a good bit of place in there. Chanel No. 5 perfume was the first one shown on Channel 5. According to a TV advertisement, what did you have to do to put the freshness back? You did the shake and vac. You did the shake and vac. And what is the name of the 2 Siamese cats in Lady and the Tramp? Siam, Si and Am. Siam, Si and Am. If you see Sid, tell him was advertising what? It was the British Gas privatisation in the time. Buy shares in British Gas. And your tiebreak one, how many stars were there on the Brazilian flag? There is 27. Okay, I hope you've all done well there and beat the score from the last week quiz. And I'll see you again next week. Good luck.